Good evening. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Kind of evening time, we'd say. We're gonna run through the market real quick, kind of see what's going on. I want to kind of take things from a macro, micro type scenario. Look at the market, kind of see what we can get into, see what looks good. I did have some different coin types that were kind of brought up by our FS group that I think look very interesting with some solid consolidation. It looks like. So we're gonna run through those a little bit too. But for right now, Bitcoin itself is still, again, kind of building long. We've got the increase as far as the price here. So you got the increased price, and with the increased price, we got the decreased volume, which is not a good sign. I know a lot of people like to use certain types of indicators and so on and so forth. I don't feel you need indicators to be able to tell these kind of things. I feel like the candles and charts and volumes will tell you everything you need to know. You can see the 1, 2, 3 rejection right after the up. We've talked about this previously before. 1, 2, 3 rejection. Typically, you're looking for 1, 2, 3 rejection, drop, right? And then you're looking for 1, 2, 3 rejection, and then drop. So watching these zones and looking at them from this perspective can really help you ideally see what's going on. So we got the build up. What we like to call this the ABC pattern. An ABC pattern is atypical for a reversal pattern. A, B, C. What it does is it results in a lower high into a higher high. Now I can give you another example of an ABC pattern from a bigger perspective, and that would be Bitcoin on the bigger time frame. If we were to take Bitcoin from an ABC pattern on the weekly, we would basically be looking at something like this. On a bigger time frame, it's basically the A, right? The market top to the market bottom to the B and then to the C. And what that indicates is a similar move right here, just so you can kind of see, not just making stuff up. That's your ABC pattern right there to the upside. That's your indication. The higher high right over here is typically the move that they make before they start trending back down. Again, we can see the same thing over here. So we've got an ABC pattern here. So we basically got a similar move on this one. So you got your A into your B into your C, right? And they've been doing this over and over and over again between all the moves and basically taking people out on the bullish move. This is the problem with bear flags. The bear flags can very much indicate that these scenarios are happening. And we could see kind of this move right here kind of playing out right now, that they could be looking for a reversal. Now, keep in mind too, they could push it up a little bit further. Anticipation around 26K, 25K. They could try and push it in that zone and try and make it look a little more bullish. But ultimately, I think the goal here is to form that ABC pattern and then see price kind of drop to a lower zone. I know a lot of people are under the scenario that, oh, price can't go deeper, price can't go deeper. And I keep seeing people talk about bullish signals and bullish momentum and bullish. Look, when they say bullish, it does not mean market reversal. We are basically in a bear market. The next halving is not until 2024. Typically, Bitcoin has always never picked up until the halving began. That is when rewards get cut in half. That is when big players start to step in, because it then incentivizes people to come in because it creates scarcity. Scarcity brings liquidity. That's basically what happens every halving of every cycle. Will we get exponentials next cycle? For sure. I believe that we 100% will get exponentials. But we have to understand our long-term goals here. And our long-term goals here are to make money, right? They're not to lose money. So if we're going to take another 20, 30, 50% hit, I don't think that that's a good plan, in the current market from where we're buying in. So if we're buying here and we think price can come down into these zones, which I very much do, still think that 13.7 is still a good possibility that could happen here. Probably like, well, that would be crazy. Look at this move. Look at this move and look at this drop. Me saying from where we are now to 13K is nothing in comparison, right? So if we look at it from that perspective, I don't think that I'm at all saying anything insane. Look, that was our original drop. 64%. I'm talking 40% from the current move. That's nothing crazy. Something I found very interesting is that we bounced on the weekly candles over here. Also, if you look at the monthly over here, the monthly right here is basically indicating that we double bottomed right here, right? And a lot of people take this as a bullish scenario. This is not necessarily a bullish scenario. So with this right here, I would say be very careful with the current market structure. Again, market structure building long in a bear scenario is not necessarily a good thing. So we need to be very careful trying to jump in on those kind of moves. We need some solid consolidation. We've seen this previously. We talked about it. These monthly candles kind of running sideways. You got the same thing over here on the BLX, running sideways, so on and so forth. So be careful with all that. All right. So with all that being said, this right here is 65K. Okay, was the top. Over here we got basically almost 70. All right, so with that being said, moving to the SPX a little bit. Gonna just do a quick market overview, not take too long today. I want to just kind of give you guys a heads up. So SPX, people getting super bullish. I mean, you didn't really get a higher high here. I would be really careful right now with the SPX. This is on the monthly. It shows you very clearly kind of what's going on. This is your daily right here, building long. You can see the clear resistance right up here. You can see the clear support. That support is support, resistance. It's showing very clearly that price will probably reject in this zone. Man, I can't believe people are getting soaked into these. Look, they did the same move up here. Same move. Pull back. They move, and I'm looking for another pullback. So be careful with the S&P. I think that the exponential growth in the S&P due to the stimuluses and stuff like that, which actually occurred right over here. If you look, January, February, March 2020 is right over in here. So this is your COVID lows, and then this right here is your price action move. So be very careful right here with price, because price could definitely come back and revisit these lows. If we look at Ethereum over here, similar scenario with Ethereum as Bitcoin. I'm looking for price to come back. It'll probably consolidate with the previous consolidation. I'm looking for it to come back to this OB over here, this order block right in this zone. Once we kind of see price come back to there, hopefully we can see a retest and we can see some positive price action. Otherwise, I'm expecting Ethereum to kind of break down. We did get the lower low. We talked about this before from the previous low. So be very careful with Ethereum. Moving into ADA. This is my expectations for ADA. So we basically got a symmetrical triangle. Symmetrical triangles typically from a downtrend end up continuing down. So be very careful with the symmetrical triangle. You can look it up if you don't believe me. It's not that difficult to understand. Again, right here, we've got Matic, very clear bearish flag, right? Very clear. It's channeling up. Again, when the market maker is going long, his intentions are to go short, right? So be very careful with Matic. Solana, again, rejection perfect. We've discussed this many times. I showed you guys this chart many times. The expectations for Solana are still very low. Litecoin not doing much. Google kind of consolidating, still in the same zone. I'm still expecting that breakdown down here to $100, which it basically already got to previously. And I'm expecting lower positions at some point throughout the year, as I don't expect market conditions to improve due to the economics and due to the Fed rate hike. All right, Disney. Coming up to some vital resistance. I would say Disney can probably make it up to 100 and near from 112 to 120. Price going gets in there, you're good to go. I would look for a rejection there and probably a short. Amazon over here. Run through Amazon. Amazon exploded up to resistance. So if you look here, you got really good resistance. The thing that Amazon recaptured here, and I want people to understand this, is that Amazon is not bullish. The thing with Amazon is Amazon basically recaptured its order block right here, right? So that's your order block for Amazon. You can see right there, look at the perfect retest of the order block. That's your swing low before you swing high. Same thing up here, right? So I would take this as your swing low, which is your lowest order block of the move. So they came up, retested the lowest order block of their move. I'm expecting it to come right back to where it started. We could form some support around this 123, 124. It was pretty solid resistance before. Consolidate here, but I do still expect lower lows for Amazon. Lucid. Let's move through Lucid real quick. We got solid consolidation sideways in a sideways zone. This is a good thing to be looking at when you're looking at certain stocks and coins and stuff like that. These are the type of scenarios that I would be looking for Lucid. This to me looks like good consolidation. We've got Adobe over here. Adobe's got the hit and bounce, right? So my expectations are still playing out as intended. I think we might make it up to the sell 430, 429. So once price kind of reaches that 429 zone, I would then look for a rejection for another short, and I think they will end up coming down to this 297 zone, right? 294 somewhere in there. U.S. Treasury bonds still kind of falling back. Not bad, not bad. I'm waiting for the Fed to start offloading their balance sheets. When they start offloading, we should see the bonds start to rise again. A lot of people are not anticipating / even thinking about that for some reason. I don't know why. Again, if we look at Tesla's looking beautiful, right? We got the rising wedge, and now we got the expanding wedge to the downside. So volatility should definitely prove not to be in Tesla's favor, and Tesla could really get wrecked to the downside the way this is forming out. This is just too much growth. Too much growth, not enough profit taking. This typically results in the market, people in these type of plays in the market getting wrecked. I'd be extremely careful with this. Again, this is the weekly. This is the 2019 lows. You got your 2020 row. This is your pandemic lows, and then you got all this move. No, there'll be some pullback. We're definitely getting that pullback. We're getting that consolidation. This is heavy volatility. Now these swings are really nice to trade. If you're looking for short the tops, long the bottoms. I mean, you got really good expansion going on here. This volatility could get pretty insane on Tesla, and it could definitely cause instability in Tesla stock and potential a crash. Really, to be honest with you, that's what I'd be looking for. Expanding wedges are not healthy. Twitter, and again, that's no bias against Tesla. I like Tesla as a stock. I like Tesla as a company. It's just that, that's just what the charts are telling me. Again, just solid, just rejection or reject. You could trade the zone below here. I think it's definitely possible, right? I think that this right here, I don't think Twitter will be getting back to these prices anytime soon. So if you bought high here, I think you're kind of stuck, to be honest with you. There's no real interest in this platform. We'll see where it goes at the end of the day. US oil. Let's see if the consolidation still sticks. Oh, we're still holding. We did hit bottom of zone here on oil, so I would be careful. Oil doesn't look bad still. Built long here, right? We could see some solid building and then building a breakout at some point. Or we could even see potentially something like this where oil comes back pretty significantly. So we could be looking at, this playing out. But again, these drops end up kind of rebounding, and then price end up coming down eventually. Again, I wouldn't be buying up here on oil. You can play the highs and lows, but I would not be buying oil at these prices. I think oil will come back significantly, especially with the current administration, the way that they look at fuel and stuff like that. So they don't favor it. So I would not be looking to buy anything that's non-energy efficient. All right, so let's go over to BNB. People just love to bring this one up. All right, so RSI bouncing hard under the 50, very bearish, right? Same thing on stochastic. Stochastic stayed under the 50 on the daily, on a weekly. Not looking too good. I would say on the daily, we're looking way oversold, or way overbought, sorry, and way overbought on the stochastic. You can see where they're just shoving price. Like, they're doing everything they can to keep BNB up. I'll tell you this, BNB is 100% in a bear flag. So, look, we gotta be careful with following hypium, hopium, all that stuff like that. Like, you can see it plain as day. You can see the rejection. The zone is almost perfect in here. BNB is looking to come down. I'm looking for BNB to recover all this liquidity at some point. We'll see when it happens, but that's what I'm looking for right now. It's a very beautiful bear flag here. So be very careful with this kind of markets. Don't get soaked up and by trying to listen to people that try and tell you, hey, this is the bottom. Nobody knows the bottom. I don't know the bottom. They don't know the bottom. They just doing whatever they can to kind of protect their bags. They're hoping if they yell and scream and kick and cry loud enough that people will leave their money in, eventually the money will come out. That's just how it works. We're in a bad situation economically. We're in a potential, I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get in trouble. Potential R word, right? Potential, we'll say economic slowdown, GDP, negative GDP 2 quarters in a row, but I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get kind of blacklisted for saying it, but you get where I'm going with the conversation. So knowing that, I would say that with the economic slowdown, we're also going to see stocks kind of start to bleed, and it'll either be a slow bleed or a big bleed. When the Fed says he's going for a slow, I love it, a soft landing, right? A soft landing, aka a slow road. That's all it is at the end of the day. And I'll show you on Bitcoin what that means specifically. I think Bitcoin shows it very well. ALB very high. So this is Albemarle Corporation. So these guys, I believe, do high risk. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look into it again. But they're kind of looking like they're in a bear flag too. Not looking too hot. Netflix did a nice rebound over here. I think something caused the hype. Again, we've discussed this before, and I said the retest of up here. We'll see, right? They could be rejecting here, but I think they'll try and push for the zone. They're going to try and push for the previous support, catch that resistance, and I think they'll come deeper. They've made this move previously, right here. So they came up. Look at this huge push. Look, huge push. History never repeats, but it rhymes, okay? Huge push, went lower. That's what I'm expecting for over here. Same thing. I don't know what they did here to cause price to jump like that, but they did. Now, this next push, I'm expecting this thing to start to recover, so I would be in, on the next low on Netflix. I think Netflix is a solid stock. I think that'll do well, so on and so forth. Dollar still falling back. Again, we've discussed this before. As long as price remains above the support, right here, your swing, right? This is your order block right here before the move. So we just need to remain above this order block. We can dip into it, that's fine. I'm looking for support to be above 103. Price starts breaking below 103, I'll look for this order block right here. If price breaks below this order block, I'm looking for the dollar to break down big time. So, I don't see that happening in the current economics. I just think everything's kind of crashing together. We can see right here, oversold for a long time the dollar. And now it's probably on a cool down phase back to the 50, and then it'll come back up again. We're seeing the squeeze over here. See mountain pushing up, mountain pushing down. So we're starting to see some tilt over here, some retracement. The dollar it's just been forcing its way through, and this is due to the economics. So let's look at the Chinese yuan versus the dollar. Again, Chinese yuan still falling back. We discussed this before, looking for support around 22 cents. So if we can find support around there, 22 yuan, 0.22. If we can find support around there, we'll be good. Let's go over here. USD to yuan, doing really well. I'm looking for resistance around 734. If we come over to ETH BTC, ETH BTC, ETH basically hit its high, just as expected. See the top right there. So now I'm looking for a pullback on ETH. I think ETH's going to fall over and Bitcoin's going to rise. Bro, look, this is not something you want to be in right here. No. Bear flag all day. Don't touch Crow. Crow will come deep. From that bear flag, expectations of price probably could be around here. And then if things get really bad, we can see even Crow try and test low lows, really low lows. So be very careful about getting into Crow and these other coins, and pay attention to the patterns that are presenting themselves. EGLD, another one. Look, I can't make this any clearer. Symmetrical triangle, right? So symmetrical triangles, they come down, they up and down, and then they do what? They hit the top, and they break down. So EGLD definitely expecting a huge breakdown on Egld. Be very careful with this one. You're hitting heavy resistance. This is your biggest support right here, right? You basically fought it all the way, and now you're going to come down deeper. So expectations for EGLD. I want to find a good order block here. I'll give you a spot. So EGLD first order block I am looking at is right here. Your last down before your last up. So right there. Looking at that one, and the next one, if it can go deeper, would be your last down before your last up, which would be that right in there. So if we're looking at those prices, we see EGLD at potentially 21 to 25, and then we could even see it as low as $7-8. So definitely be careful with EGLD. Again, we got March 20th. Look, March 20th, right? What happened? Boom. A lot of liquidity to still grab here. I'm expecting price to at least come back to here though, to this order block, and you can see right here the reason it pulled back and supported. Look. See that? See the resistance? See how they held price right here? So they basically got price out of the resistance zone and then held it there, pulled back into it, and then took off. So I'm expecting this price action right here to be recovered. Could price go lower? Sure. I would be looking more for these prices though for EGLD. I'm definitely waiting for consolidation to confirm, but that's what I'm looking for right now. EGLD to the downside, symmetrical triangle. I would be shooting this. Yeah, I would say with that, we'll kind of run over KDA real quick. Let's look at KDA. You know, a lot of people like to speculate. It's good. It's good. A really good token. A really good crypto. I think crypto project. The thing that we have to remember is that KDA. The issue with KDA right now is KDA exploded. Right? It came from 30 cents all the way up to $28, and now we're seeing them down at what, $1 or $2. So it got as low as $1.43. Potentially, like we basically kind of recovered some of the move. The problem right now is that they fell below the order block. It's not a good sign. So I'm looking for KDA to potentially come down and try. And you can see right here, see the order block, and they basically fell below it, got some support over here, right? Came back up into it, but I mean, really, they can come down all the way back to where they started almost because of this. It looks like they're losing momentum on KDA, so I'd be really careful. I think the project's solid, don't get me wrong, but it's not real confident in the current move due to support, right? I don't like supporting lower than the previous support, right? And you're probably like, what do you mean? Well, if you look here on the weekly, that's your low, right? And then this right here is your low. So be careful. That's a lower low from the previous takeoff. I would be careful, KDA. All right. I think that's gonna do it for today. I think we ran through a lot of things. I'll definitely try and cover some other stuff moving forward. Hopefully you guys appreciate the truthfulness. If you could, I would really appreciate it if you guys could, smash the like button, leave a comment. If you guys want me to look at something specifically in my next video, feel free to go ahead and put that in the comments and like, hey, can you check out this coin or that coin? And I'll try and make sure to input that in my next video. So I'll be coming out with my next video on Wednesday. So make sure you guys are paying attention to that, and we'll be dropping that on the channel here in a few days. All right, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Good evening. Watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah. I learned my right from wrong on a song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe, that's why I be going ghost. I ain't trying to stay up on that wide road, cause I can't let them take my soul. Nah.